Okay, so in today's video I am going to be doing a drawing of Ozzy Osbourne. So this series kind of, I guess, I was going to start this a lot later. I was actually going to start it after I finished my 365 days of art challenge, but I'm still quite a few weeks off finishing that, and I really wanted to get this video up now. So yeah, we're going to start with Ozzy Osbourne in this series. I have already filmed 3 other drawings, but they'll just come at a later date, but they were filmed in like my old room. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to, like I said, start this draw with me, I guess, series with Ozzy Osbourne. So if you want to see that, then keep on watching. Okay, so I don't really know how to sort of voice this over, because obviously if I just sit here telling you everything that I was doing, then that's pretty boring. It's pretty self-explanatory what I was doing. But yeah, I didn't really film doing the outline because I felt like it was going to take me long enough to actually colour this in the first place. And yeah, I got home from work about 5:05, 5:10 and started on it immediately, obviously doing the outline and then obviously starting to colour, and I didn't finish it until it was either 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it definitely took a while, and the outline I feel like sometimes takes a long time to sort of get exactly where you want it to be. I try and sort of put as much detail into it as possible, and then I go over it with a putty eraser to sort of take away some of the lead. I don't really like to take too much away because I feel like, especially being left-handed, by the time I'm sort of finished like leaning over it and stuff, for the most part it's disappeared anyway. So yeah, I do try and leave sort of a decent amount of it on there, just so that obviously I can still see what I'm doing. So yeah, obviously the outline was already done by the time I started filming. So yeah, I basically went in with the face first, which is what I do with all of my drawings. I feel like once I've got the face done, then yeah, it feels like there's not so much left to do. I feel like I could literally have the entirety of the picture completely done, but if the face isn't done, then it feels like I've got an eternity to go. So yeah, I do for the most part try and do the face first, just because I feel like, yeah, like I say, I feel like I have so much more completed once the face is done. And I also kind of can judge from how the face has gone how the rest is going to go. If the face looks decent, then I'm kind of happy with continuing. I don't really want to sort of like, you know, obviously with this one, the rest of the picture it's like his hand and then his hair for the most part. I wouldn't really want to like do his hand and the hair and think, oh yeah, this is great, and then do the face and it turn out awful. That would just be really irritating. So yeah, I tend to do the face first because yeah, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the drawing, I feel. And yeah, it gets a lot of the legwork out of the way. I think the face took me maybe an hour and a half to do, and then his glasses on top of that possibly took another 20 minutes, half an hour, so I guess sort of 2 hours in total on the face. And then I thought, oh, the hair won't take me too long, but yeah, because it takes up most of the drawing, it actually took way longer than I expected it to. Obviously because I had quite a large surface area to cover, and in the picture that I was using as reference, there was quite a few different sort of like tones in his hair as well. So because of that made it took a little bit longer, because obviously I wanted to blend in all the different tones. I didn't want to just do brown hair. And there's quite a lot of green tones in the picture that I was using as reference. So yeah, obviously I wanted to keep all of those sort of tones in the picture as much as I possibly can. And then yeah, obviously at this point you can see the face is basically done. I just added some white highlights to the glasses to sort of bring back a little bit of shine to them and make them look a little bit more metallic. And then yeah, obviously moved on to the hair. As you can see, I tend to sort of lay down some base colours first of all. So I laid down where there were some green tones and then where there were some more brown tones, just to kind of build up a base, and then sort of a rough base, and then you can go over afterwards and fill it in a little bit sort of bolder. And then obviously you end up with less white marks left over. And also I feel like laying this base down first of all makes it feel like you've not got so much left to go, and it also does just make it easier to blend rather than sort of, you know, trying to blend a really light colour in with a really dark colour. If you've laid them down first of all, it makes it so much easier to do that. So yeah, I started off with the smaller half of his hair, if that makes sense. Again, for my thing of sort of feeling a little bit more complete, I thought if I get this section done, then it will feel like I've done way more than I actually have, and yeah, I will feel a little bit more accomplished, because at this point, obviously, like I said, I started at sort of like 5. It took me sort of half an hour to an hour to do the outline, and sort of 2 hours to do the face. So at this point it was like gone 9 o'clock, pushing on 10, because I'd also had dinner at this point as well, and I was thinking, oh my god, I've still got so much left to do. And at this point it was literally like 2 days before my brother and his girlfriend were going to be going to Birmingham, and obviously I wanted this to go on Black Sabbath Bridge as a tribute. So I knew I didn't want the original to go because I really like to keep all the originals. So it actually meant that I had to get this done this night so that I could get a print made so that they could then take it in like 2 days time. But yeah, I didn't have time to go and get a print done on the day that they were going. So yeah, like I said, it literally meant that this had to be completed the day that I started it, which, had I just had a little bit more organisational skills, then that wouldn't have been a problem. It would have been done, it would have been ready, and it could have gone. But no, I didn't really have the organisational skills to get that done. I decided really last minute that I wanted to do one. I think the main reason being is I didn't actually realise that they were going until like the day before I did this drawing. So yeah, it was really last minute, as you can tell. And then yeah, I did his jacket off camera, mainly because my camera died and I didn't realise. But it would have been really boring anyway, because most of it was just fully black. And this bit in the middle that was like left white was supposed to be gold, but I couldn't really find the right colours, so in the end I just coloured it in. So that bit is actually just black, but I didn't mind too much. I didn't really want to stress looking for the right colours, because I was pretty certain that I didn't have them anyway, so I thought I'll just colour it in black and it will be okay. Like, I always do this to myself though. Like, the other 3 drawings that I have prepared and ready, they were drawn like last year. One of them was for Father's Day for my dad, one of them was for his birthday, and then I want to say the other one was for Christmas, I'm not sure, something like that. But one of them was done a week in advance, so I gave myself a little bit of leeway there. But one of them was done the day before, and then the other one was done 2 days before. So quite evidently I seem to thrive in times where I'm basically giving myself no option but to get it done. I feel like if not, I lose motivation really quickly to actually do it and get it finished, and then it will kind of just sit there for ages not really doing anything, and then yeah, I'll kind of start it and then get so far with it, I'll maybe complete the face or something like that, or even sometimes just an outline, and then it will sit there for weeks if not months, and then I will still end up doing it right before the deadline anyway. Or if there is no deadline, then sometimes they just never get done. So yeah, I feel like that's something that I need to work on. But yeah, I feel like I just thrive under sort of high pressure situations where I know I don't have a choice but to get it done. I feel like I've created some of my best work that way. And yeah, I was pretty proud of this one when it was done, and it made it all really worth it. I ended up cutting out the part where I did his rings, because the rings on their own took me almost an hour, because I was trying to build up the right colours and trying to build up the right the right highlights, the right shadows, and it was really difficult because they are not the easiest shapes to draw anyway. So yeah, it was a little bit stressful, and it took me a lot of work. It doesn't really look like it, and they don't look perfect, but I think they look good enough, and that's all that really matters. And yeah, I managed to get it finished, get it scanned onto my computer, and then yeah, I managed to get a print done, and it went off on last Saturday, and it sat on the bridge for a couple of days before they took it away again, which I was absolutely fine with, because I was so scared that the weather was going to ruin it. But yeah, that was the finished Ozzy drawing. I just added some white highlights with a pen, and yeah, it was all done. Okay, so this is the final drawing. The only thing I have left to do now is just to get a white pen and sign it. So I sign all of the originals with just like my art signature, and then any prints I do, I put my art signature on there, and then I put a number underneath them as well. So every single one is hand signed and hand numbered, just for me really, I guess, to keep track of how many I've sold, I guess. So yeah, I don't currently have these up in a shop anywhere, but if you would like to see them and you would like to purchase one, please let me know. And yeah, when it's up on a shop somewhere, I will link it, and then yeah, you can go and buy one for yourself. But yeah, this is, like I said, the final drawing all done. And my brother and his girlfriend actually took a print to the Black Sabbath bridge to put there with all of the tributes for Ozzy. So yeah, that will go off to the Osbournes at some point, I guess. They've actually, at the point of me filming this, they've actually collected them all up already. Yeah, waiting to send them off, so that's really cool. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know who you want to see me draw next. But yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.